What's up everyone, it's Andy Nguyen, and today we're back at it again with Wind Studio's Windex. I know it's the glass cleaner, but this is the Windex, which is a 65% plus full-size numpad, gasket mounted individual flex-like regions. Let's get into it. This video and the stream are sponsored by Keycaps, and they're a friend of the channel, they help support, and we're looking at Wind Studio's board today. Wind Studio is another designer. They made something really cool here. I really like this for a work board. The thing that's special about this board is there's a silicone layer on top of the plate. I know we've talked about having PCB foam between the plate and the PCB, having PE foam underneath that, and having case foam below, but this board has something even more special, which is a silicone layer. I'll tell you right now, the silicone layer is definitely for you if you wanted a muted sound. If you don't want a quiet board, don't do it. Honestly, in the build process, the silicone really hurt. I'm gonna show you some clips here, but it ended up making the stream 4 hours. But I wanna do the science for you to let you know whether or not you wanna build with it for yourself. The build quality and aesthetic of this board is impeccable. Just look at the back, look at that bright red. Look at that stripe all the way around. Brass weight and a little badge right here. The triangle feet, it looks stunning. And the anodization is clean. There are no inner machining marks. I make that joke a lot, and apparently it tastes pretty good too. Like I mentioned in the little intro, the silicone top layer doesn't feel like a finished product. The installation was a hell because the silicone would like move around or stick in a certain way, getting in the way of the switch going into the plate, and it just took forever. I don't know if they're gonna change the material, but as of right now, I probably wouldn't recommend that unless you really wanted a muted sound. But once it's installed, it has this really nice, crisp, muted sound, and it's not PE foamy, it's not PCB foamy, it's just different. We know that silicone as a dampening layer really reduces the decibels of your board as well as removes hollowness. This right here feels solid, sounds solid. Although it took forever, I really like the final product for a work board. So overall, the sound of this board, we have Epsilons in here, which are long pole JWK recolors. It's not an unwiped stem. It should be louder and clackier, but I found with a silicone layer, it's pretty muted. It's almost as if there was silicone in the case, but there's no reduction of flex because I can still depress all the way. And the feel of this board is very bouncy. This right here, this numpad is actually separate. There's a separate plate, there's a separate silicone layer, and it's mounted separately. The alpha, the 65% portion, is also separate. So when you press here, you're actually depressing just this side. Normally, like in the Rect 1800, the entire board is one piece, so it feels pretty stiff. So when you have a large board, it ends up being a little stiff unless there's a bunch of flex cuts. Here, because it's two pieces, although a little bit weird, the PCB is two pieces as well. Ribbon cables are a lot more sensitive than JST connectors, but the final product, this is very bouncy, very comfy to type on. It's just really fun. In terms of the feel, the front height is only 18 millimeters, which is not shortest. Lowest front height is like 17 millimeters. Here 18 is a little bit higher, but it feels so comfortable. I don't need a wrist rest, and that is very important for a work board because I don't want to clutter a work desk with a wrist rest. I want to have papers and documents and I'm writing things. So the main draw of this keyboard right here, the Windex, is the utility. You have your full arrows, right? You have your full numpad, so you can have this as a work board. Personally, as an engineer, I didn't really need all the F keys. I only needed F4 and F8. For someone that needs XL, also perfect. You got full arrows, you have your punctuation, although in GMK Perestroika right here, there's no punctuation. This right here is a perfect workboard. It's comfortable to type on. It's very quiet with the silicone, has all the keys that you may need, unless you need F keys. I know a full size is a little bit bigger because there's gonna be 2 more columns, right? But this is as good as it gets if you want this layout. But because there's no height for the F keys, it feels a little skinny and long. It does feel like it takes a lot of footprint, so really for this, I would not use it in my gaming setup. I would swap the keyboard for sure. I know some of you are watching this and you're like, what, you have more than one keyboard? Are you a rich? I'm not rich, I just have been in the hobby for a while, okay? So, what are my final thoughts on this keyboard? This keyboard is a banger of a work board. The silicone really doesn't feel like it's fully designed properly, but the implementation and the theory behind it does the job, makes it more muted while still retaining the feel and retaining a little bit more switch sound than if you had used PCB foam. Would I recommend that? Yes for a work board, no for a personal board at home. If you're trying to bring out the clack or the pop of your switches, I don't think the silicone is the move. The flex of this board is really nice. Like having it separate in hemispheres, that's genius. It's scary to build, but once you get it built, 2 thumbs up from me. The price is actually really good as well, under $300, but of course, because it's only one vendor internationally, the shipping cost is going to be pretty expensive. I don't know the exact number. The in-stock sale happened today. I feel like it was 50 bucks or more in shipping, depending on where you are, and that does hurt, but at least the whole package is under like 400, okay? It's pretty good considering you're getting a gasket mount aluminum board with a brass weight, with a badge, with a numpad, and some cool features that are not found in basic boards. So it's not just a tray mount, it's not just a top mount, it's something different, all right? So I definitely recommend this board. I'm gonna be using this one if I ever have to do work. It looks amazing, it looks stunning. It definitely looks like it costs more than $300. So thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you consider buying this board. The information for the GB will be in the description box below. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.